Arsenal fans, be excited. News is circulating, stories are coming out about the return of Bukayo Saka, and if this happens, when this happens, it is over for the Premier League. I am telling you, rivals do not want this to happen, and the return of Bukayo Saka could be sooner than most people imagined. We're going to be speaking about that. Also, Mikel Merino, that left-back position, the left-wing position, because we play Nottingham Forest tomorrow in a must-win game. An exciting game where there are still so many talking points that we haven't touched on. Before we get into it though, you know the drill. My name is Jed, and if you could help me out very quickly, please, just hit like and subscribe. So, Bukayo Saka, I'm sure people have seen the training pictures of Bukayo Saka coming back to Arsenal. There is a bit of information that I want to bring to you, but very quickly, Arsenal play Nottingham Forest tomorrow. And one quick question. What is your score prediction? And you know the drill. If anyone gets it right, in the breakdown video after the game, I will flash you up on screen and give you a shout out. So let me know in the comment section your Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest score prediction. Let's talk about the return of Bukayo Saka. And look, about a month ago, when this injury happened, we kind of thought, my God, this is going to be the end of the world because we don't have no one who can replace Bukayo Saka. But we've been very lucky, or maybe it's not been luck. Maybe it's just Mikel Arteta bringing in a player that nobody wanted and nobody saw the vision. But since Madueke has been playing on that right-hand side, excellent. He's been so good. Look, the qualities that Madueke have, we've spoken about. So what do we really miss with Bukayo Saka? I think a lot of people forget, just because Madueke's been good, how effective Bukayo Saka is. Like, some people might have the opinion of Bukayo Saka has to fight his way back into this team. Look, Bukayo Saka is one, if not the very best right winger in the world. Now, there's a discussion there. He's definitely top 2, top 3. Some people might have Salah ahead of him, Dembele. Look, for me, Bukayo Saka's the second best right winger in world football. Only behind Mo Salah. I'm giving Mo Salah that respect because he's been doing it for quite a few seasons. Now, the ceiling of Bukayo Saka is probably higher than Mo Salah. But Saka, does he come straight back into this team? I guess now, look, the report is he's going to be back for the Man City game. There is not an official release on this, but Arsenal don't really do that. Only sometimes Mikel Arteta comes out and puts an exact date on it. But we know what he likes to do in his press conferences. When he's talking, he doesn't like to give the rival managers the actual information on when this guy is going to be returning. And so he shouldn't, because it's a tactical game, isn't it? You want to try and win these mind games. When he comes in, I guess the bonus is you don't have to rush him back. It's not like we don't have a player in that right wing position who's very effective at the minute. Now, Madueke scored for England. If he can carry on that goal-scoring form against Nottingham Forest, then brilliant. Maybe you don't have to rush Bukayo Saka back for that game against Man City. But let's not forget how just effective Bukayo Saka is. It's always like when you're searching for that moment, Bukayo Saka has been that talisman, that guy for Arsenal that we've turned to for so long. So let me know, if Bukayo Saka will probably be ready, do you risk him against Man City, or do you play Madueke? Because look, that Man City game, of course, is very important. You're playing against a team who you would imagine are your title rivals as well, with Liverpool. So it is a game that you want to win. Now you're at home, so you've got an added bonus there. So for me, I would never want to risk a player or rush him back for a game if it means there's even a small chance of him getting injured. Now, if you're towards the end of the season and it's like a Champions League final, those are the games where you risk players, but not after 3 or 4 games of a season where you've still got the majority of the season to be played. You don't risk a player. In my opinion, although he's our best player, you don't want to rush him back because you might win that game, but then how many games is he going to miss? He's going to miss Man City at Etihad. He's going to miss Liverpool at home. There's so many big fixtures we still have. So for me, the risk isn't worth the reward of risking Saka if there is still a small chance that he might get injured, or I wouldn't rush him back just for that Man City game. If Madueke wasn't performing as well as he is, then there's a conversation, because it's like we don't have no other options. But at the minute, we do. So please don't risk Bukayo Saka. But let me know your thoughts. Right, let's speak about this Nottingham Forest game, because there are some intricacies, some talking points that I think we can have some discussion on. That whole left side, if there's any part of this Arsenal team where I think there's definitely a discussion at left back, there's definitely a discussion at left wing. Now, left back is becoming less and less of a talking point because of the re-emergence of Calafiori. At the beginning of the season, most people, rightly, would have said, Calafiori's not in this team. It's Myles Lewis-Skelly. MLS has won that position last season. But this season, pre-season, he started off a bit slow, and Riccardo Calafiori is flying. The marauding Italian left back has been on fire. So for me, it would be very harsh to drop that guy. Now, the only guy I think we can have a conversation about is Hincapié. Because like I've said before in previous videos, everyone knows my thoughts on this guy. This guy isn't coming to be a squad player. I think he's coming to be a starter, to actually fight for that position. That doesn't mean he's going to get it in this game, though. But the only comparison that you can have is, well, Victor Gyökeres came in and he was thrown straight in. We saw Arteta identified this guy and he played him straight away. But the only thing with that is there were some circumstances surrounding that where he kind of had no other option but to play him. Havertz was the striker and then he got injured. So Victor Gyökeres had a free run at it. And I think that's actually benefited Victor Gyökeres. Scored a couple of goals. Didn't have the pressure of thinking there's someone behind him. But with Hincapié, he's going to have to come in and fight for this position. Because it's not just one guy that's ahead of him at the moment. There's two guys. One of them is an academy player that is like the next best thing coming out of England. The England left back. Arsenal's left back at 18 years old, having a breakthrough season last season. And the other one is Calafiori. Again, a guy you've spent a lot of money on. A guy you brought in as a centre-back, but you played him left-back and you thought this is his position. This guy loves to get forward. He is that dynamo in defence, that unpredictability that when your attackers can't do something, the guy from defence is coming to unlock doors. Riccardo Calafiori is a locksmith. He's carrying keys to unlock doors from defence, and I like that in a defender. If you offer that to me in a defender, as a fullback, a guy that has the confidence to get forward, to take shots, to try and take players on. Now there is a risk to that. You can get caught out. There are times where you leave a massive gap, and if there's one ball that goes over the top, you're bang in trouble. But it's like a risk versus reward, isn't it? Mikel Arteta obviously thinks the risk is worth the reward, and if Arsenal want to be more attacking, then I like that. So he's going to have to try and displace Calafiori because for me, that position at the minute is Calafiori. I know so many of the people who watch these videos love Lewis-Skelly, and so do I. I think he's been brilliant, but when a player is on form like Calafiori, it's very difficult to pull him out of the team because he's been playing so well. Let me know your thoughts on who you think should start at left back, because for me, it's Calafiori. You might have a different idea, so let me know. Also, Mikel Merino. Look, I done my team yesterday and I left out Mikel Merino, and that's the only thing that's bothering me. If there was a player that I would have to try and get into this team that I think maybe is a bit unlucky to miss out, then it would be Merino. This guy scored 4 goals in 2 games on the international break. He's not a striker, he's a central midfielder. Loads of people say this is a defensive-minded player. He's gone and scored 4 goals in 2 games. That is very difficult to leave out of a squad. When a guy is in goal-scoring form, especially a midfielder, you want to keep that run going. So if there are people who are putting Merino in their team or who think that Mikel Merino should start the game, I'm not disagreeing. Mikel Merino is brilliant, but it's like, who do you leave out? You're going to play a double pivot with Zubimendi and Rice, I would imagine. Then do you leave out Odegaard? Again, he's looked very good on the international break. That's the thing. We've got so many good central midfielders at the minute. Like, I done a video the other day and I listed them. And you've got players like Nwaneri, who's not getting a shout at the minute. You've obviously got Odegaard, Merino, Rice, like so many players that could play that position. Some people would see that as a frustration, but the more good players you have in this team who are fighting for a position, it rises the level of the whole team up because whoever's playing best should earn that position. Now, I think Mikel Merino is going to miss out on this game. Very unlucky to. Definitely deserves a mention. Was probably the best Arsenal player on that international break. He probably impressed more than anyone else. In terms of his finishing ability, it is top class. And that's why I think he can be effective as a super sub. That's not mean or nasty to call someone a super sub, because in this league, in these competitions, you need a full squad. It's no longer, if you're not part of the starting 11, then you're no use to this squad. You're not a key first team player, because you are. The substitutes at times are just as important as the starting 11. And imagine at 60 minutes, Nottingham Forest, they're knackered, and then they see Mikel Merino coming on, Trossard coming on, someone else, and it's just like, you want to have these players on the bench to come on to make an impact in the game. And that's what I think Mikel Merino will offer. Like I said, I think he's very unlucky to miss out because he probably has been the best Arsenal player on international break. And Mikel Arteta, the Spaniard, Marino's a Spaniard, might look at it and say, this guy deserves to start. And if he does start in place of maybe even a Rice or a Zubimendi, and then you drop Rice further back, then I wouldn't be surprised. Some people didn't like when he started against Liverpool, but like I said before, we're not seeing what these guys are doing in training, and Mikel Merino is obviously impressing in training. So it will be interesting to see what Mikel Arteta does with that central midfield position. Like I said, let me know your midfield three. Does Mikel Merino make your midfield for the game tomorrow against Nottingham Forest? And that leaves us with a final position. Left wing. Is it as easy as Eze has to start playing there? Or is it, well, Trossard's available. Trossard's been a good player for Arsenal over the couple of years. Now, I always say about Trossard, I really, really like him. But I can't see him being the answer or the starting left winger in a Premier League winning team. That doesn't mean he can't be a valuable squad player. That's not me saying I don't like him or I don't think he's good enough. When you look at an attack of a Premier League, a Champions League winning side, you need to be seeing superstars. And is Leandro Trossard that superstar, or is he a player that can contribute in massive moments? I think that's what Leandro Trossard is. So Eze, for me, takes that left wing position. I play an attack of Eze, Madueke and Victor Gyökeres. I think that team would cause problems for Nottingham Forest. Look, Nottingham Forest are a good side. If people are asking me for a score prediction at home, 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday, I'm going to go for 3-0 to Arsenal. But let me know your thoughts on everything you've heard in this video. What is your score prediction? Like I said, if you get it right, I will shout you out in the breakdown video after the game. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, if you could, do me a quick favour, just hit like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.